Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live. And it's almost Christmas. Woo!
Yes, it is.
It's currently feeling very Christmassy outside. It's currently snowing outside my window. So,
Oh, okay. We don't have snow,
no, there's no.
but it's chilly.
Mm.
So, but that's okay. I'm good without the snow.
And we just passed Yule, which is what the show's about today. If you didn't read the description, talking about
Yule,
Yule. So,
Yule.
if you guys want to start thinking about what Yule means to you and sharing that in the comments, that would be awesome. We do have one more guest that's going to be popping on. They're just a little bit late. They have another commitment that they just needed to take care of first, but they're going to be here in a second. And I'm just going to do some, I guess, calendar keeping before I get Gerald to introduce himself for those that haven't been here before. So the next show after this one, there's going to be a bit more than the normal 2 weeks between the shows. So the next show is on the 13th of January, where I'll be actually launching my new business. I mean, new Reiki healing business. So that'll be exciting. And there's going to be a bit of a Reiki share that day. And then on the 23rd, the show after that, I'm going to be doing another cooking show, another baking show where you guys can come and hang with me in the kitchen.
And do you know what you're cooking?
I have an idea. I have a very favorite soup recipe that I've basically been eating since I was a baby. So it's gazpacho, so like a cold tomato soup, but it's super easy to throw together. Super great way to get veggies in if you're somebody like me, especially who doesn't like eating salad. It's a really good way just to, get those veggies and those vitamins in.
There you go.
I'm going to just say hello to a couple people because we've had a bunch of people pop on here. So we have Moira. Hello, Moira. Thanks for being here. She's pretty much a neighbor for me. She's just outside of Ottawa. Yeah, getting the same snow. Yeah. And then there's Richie. Hi, Richie. Thanks for being here.
Yes, Richie. That's great.
Oh, and moderators, watch out for this one.
I believe I may be your only moderator.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll work on that. Anybody else want to be a moderator? Let me know. I'm happy to throw some wrenches.
I would throw a wrench at Madame Maru.
Hi, Maruda. Here, while we're waiting for our other guest to pop on here, I'll throw some wrenches. How about that?
Well, and I will do that. I'll introduce myself. I'm Gerald, Tarot Stash. I have been doing. I've been reading tarot for close to 30 years now, definitely 25. So I also do a lot of different things, but on my YouTube channel, I do great conversations about a variety of topics, including magic, witchcraft, laugh and learns. Just recently, we finished up the Glimmer Globe 2024. So this has been a wonderful experience. I would also throw a wrench at Beth Aspasia Rising.
Will do. We're giving wrenches away for Christmas, everybody.
Woo!
You get a wrench, and you get a wrench, and you get a wrench.
Saturnalia, right?
You got it.
And I do a lot of different things. I do offer private readings. So if people would like a private reading from me, get a hold of me, tarotstash@gmail.com. Oh, and Beth is like, oh, no, I'm useless with a wrench. Yes, but it's in my mind, Beth having a wrench it makes me feel good like Rosie Riveter.
Yeah.
Always makes me feel good. It's recognizing the true power.
It's true. So, there we go. I wrenched a bunch of you.
You've been wrenched. So.
Hopefully you don't get wrenched off this page, but
By the time I find anything, the show is over. Well, that's good. That works. But you can also
keeping the high vibes.
Keeping the high vibe and getting rid of the trolls. JJ is here. Hi, JJ. Hi. Listening while running errands. Whose errands and how long have you had them?
You're so funny. This is why I have you on the show, right?
Because I'm so trying. Oh, no, I'm fine. But JJ was just on with me and Karen on Thursday
Yes.
to do a light language show, which was a lot of fun.
It was a really good show. I always enjoy those shows so much. I always learn so much. And it really makes you realize how much light language, it's different for everybody. Like for you, it's very visual, but for Karen and JJ, it's very, much more, I guess, a vocal language.
Well, yes. And we're not talking about light language today. However, it is interesting to me as we pay attention to the wheel of the year. And right now we are going into the darker part of the year because we've just passed the winter solstice, which is long night.
Right, yeah.
And traditionally, we would be, if we were living in an agricultural society, we would be around the hearth. We would be sitting around the table. The children would be learning their lessons, studying. The older, what'd you say, Jeffrey? By candlelight, yes.
Yes,
we would be
very
doing
true.
all of this by candlelight. The children would be hearing the stories and the tales from their elders. And this is, and we would be doing things like mending.
Yes,
because
that's true.
When we were outside,
there was no time for that.
There's no time for that. If you're lucky and you were able to read, somebody may be reading a story to you. So I bring this around to the idea of light language. I'm wondering if light language for us here on the earth plane, if it comes through more readily this time of the year, because a lot of the world is quiet.
That's a thought. And even ourselves, we have a time, as you said, chance to rest.
It's a chance to rest. There's a lot of stillness, and not just because people aren't doing a lot of activities, but snow dampens noise.
It does. That's actually one of my favorite things after a big snowstorm, when you walk outside and there's just no noise.
Yes.
Ooh, look who it is.
Hi. Late to the party as ever.
That's all right.
Hello, Katie. How are you?
You're fashionably late, Richie.
Oh, marvellous. I forgot to put my Santa hat on. Never mind. You're going to have to have me just bald. Never mind. How are we? Okay?
Yeah, we were just chit-chatting until you showed up, because,
oh, that's gonna
not a party until you show up.
Thank you for holding on.
Of course.
Happy solstice to you.
Happy solstice to you as well. And if you, Gerald was just kind of introducing himself. So if you wanted to take 2 seconds for those that maybe don't know who you are, if you wanted to introduce yourself.
Wow. Okay. Hi, I'm Richie from Longman Tarot in the UK. I live in the southeast of the UK on the south coast, in beautiful countryside and by the sea. I have been studying tarot. Well, I've been doing tarot since I was a kid. But there were times when I stopped doing it, and I came back to it probably 5 or 6 years ago, started the channel up. Then, of course, lockdowns happened, so it was a really useful way of connecting. Since then, I've gone on to do other exciting, wonderful things. So I'm studying to my Druid course. So I'm doing my first grade of that, which has taken a lot longer than I thought it was, but it's one of those things where I realized I need to do it at my pace, and that it's the journey, not the eventual destination on that one.
Right.
There.
Yes.
I've got into shamanic drumming. I've got into realizing the benefit of nature and being out in the countryside and how good that is for mental health or general health and everything. Yeah, so I'm kind of into everything. Crystals. I kind of get a bit faddy. I like crystals, and then I kind of stop liking crystals, and then I like magic wands, and then I stop liking magic wands. You know what I mean? I'm a bit like that. I'm a bit like a kid in a sweet shop. I want to have a go at all of it all at once.
Why not? That's what I love about this journey. Honestly, you make it your own.
Absolutely.
Well, and Richie, did you also mention that you are a deck creator?
I forgot that one. I forget that one to add to my credit. Yeah, I've also created this beautiful deck, beautifully shown here by Gerald. My own Lenormand deck, which is
Nice.
available on I've forgotten the site now. Making
Playing cards.
Yeah, I still need to upload mine.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that because it's a nightmare, but hopefully it's got better. But no, yes, I made my own Lenormand deck, which was
That's fun.
which was beautiful. It's really there's lots of videos if people want to go and have a look on why it happened and all the things on it. But I kind of decided to set myself a project which was never intended for anyone else to see but myself. But I went on and I might be doing something else starting next year as well.
Ooh. Breaking news, guys. Breaking news.
I love that.
So that's me, really. And I'm just going to adjust my camera, just bring it down a bit. So excuse me.
Well, you were talking about it. It's funny you mentioned it because it actually came up in conversation on Saturday. But you were talking about like it's about the journey. So I had my Celtic Shamanic High Priestess initiation on Saturday.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
So we, of course, had the first years coming up and coming in and being initiated as well. So those that are just starting their journey. And that was basically what I said to one of them was, it's about the journey. It's not a race.
Yeah.
You know, we can each make this our own. That's what I love about it so much is that no matter, you know, as you said, you can take the wand stuff, you can take the crystal stuff, you can, you know, look at any gods or goddesses that you want. Like you can pull from the Irish, you can pull from the Greek, you can pull from the Roman and the Norse, and you can make it your own. And that's what I love.
It's been a real interesting. I've learned so much about myself, and I thought I knew everything about myself, and then I realized I knew nothing about myself. And it's one of those things where I just kind of thought, I'm beginning to like myself again after sort of some period of time where I got a bit lost in it all. And I just, again, meeting fabulous people like you, lovely too. Just kind of meeting people and talking about stuff that I wouldn't have the opportunity to talk about sort of in my local area. Although having said that, there are people now I'm discovering that have similar interests. So the community is so important as well. And I love it. Absolutely love it.
I'm just going to pop up Moruta's comment here. So I think this is when we were talking about candles. I'm guessing. She was saying the Latvians used a long, thin piece of wood attached to the wall. I'm assuming that's what she's talking about. Moruta, if you want to clarify if I'm wrong on that.
Or is that a tree? I don't know.
Hi, B. Thanks for subscribing.
Oh, hi, B. Good to see you.
If you want to go and subscribe to their channels too, I know they wouldn't mind.
Well, and I know with there's a lot of Latvian culture is very rich. It's also not well known.
No.
And so there's a delicate balance of, wow, you know, I do something similar, or I am aware of that. I didn't know from where it came. It's really exciting. So.
I think that's where the next big thing in spiritual is going to be, that kind of part of Europe that has been kind of not necessarily forgotten, but missed off quite a lot. I think that's where the next big thing's going to be coming. It's going to be a lot more appreciation of it and a lot more people finding out more about it, which is exciting in many ways, as long as it's not, you know, to the detriment of the actual history of the people. But I think that's where it's going to go next.
So I'm writing that down, Richie.
Yes. Write it down, Joe.
You heard it here first. My prediction for 2025.
So I have a question for everybody in the chat, since we're talking about Yule. If you guys want to post maybe what Yule means to you, because that was actually one of the questions during our initiation on Saturday. Was Tanis, my teacher, Twillo Lifestyle, she asked what Yule meant to us. And the big thing I said, and it actually was interesting, it was something that had happened during the day leading up. But I said it was about hope and being thankful for the small things. So that came about because the way that my house is set up, I get a lot of the afternoon sunlight that comes through my big kind of patio door window. And I have a sun catcher that hangs there. And so that afternoon, I had an entire wall full of rainbows.
Wow.
Ooh.
And then it was also reflecting off a pillow I have for Christmas that has like gold sequins. So an entire ceiling was basically like gilded ceiling and like a wall of rainbows. It was just like, I mean, it was the smallest thing, but it was just like, I just took 2 seconds and breathed and took it in, and it was just, yeah. So yeah, hope and thankfulness was mine, but I was be curious about everybody else.
I think for me, Yule is it is about introspection. And what's nice about it for me is because my natural tendency is to be very introspective, and the whole world is getting introspective. And so it makes me not the outsider for wanting to spend that time. So I also like that idea of community, because we're, as I was saying before, we're around the fire, around a candle, trying to do these things that we couldn't do during the summer. So there's this cramped, comfortable, uncomfortable, everybody needs to be quiet interaction. And so it's a mix. It's and there's some, because I don't know about you, but in late January and early February, I am like going, okay, I need to get out of this house, or there's going to be other things to clean up.
Oh dear.
Because I'm tired of y'all. But it's again, I'm a person who get me a heavy blanket and some pillows, and I'm quite happy.
What about you, Richie?
Well, again, it's changed. I threw myself. It was Yule that got me into things like the Glastonbury Unity candle that I just been doing. Actually, it's been hosting. It was Yule that got me into meeting the community. It was about that time I discovered it, or I think it was about Yule that I started doing my first lives. So I think it's quite a productive time of the year. But I've learned over the years that I switch between them because I'm quite a lazy person. So the idea of just hunkering under a blanket and kind of eating lots of food and drink is ideal.
Yes.
So I don't really need a big excuse to do that. And I was very well aware of what was happening. But it was the answer to, I did a lot of research about seasonal depression, which is something that I've always had through my whole life. And it was about the festival of Yule and doing that slowing down process, that going to sleep, that burrowing downness that taught me how to survive the winter. Because before that, I was always trying to pack everything into this season like it was the light of the summer, but this time we're doing it under the hideousness of electric lights.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to do all my work and everything else and going out and socializing when my body and all my DNA is screaming at me going, no, hibernate, stop. And I think for me, that's what this SAD is partially about, is realizing that there are rhythms to the body, there are rhythms to ourselves, there are rhythms to life, and that if one cycle around the wheel means that sometimes you're busy and sometimes you just need to slow the F down. I'm not going to swear on your channel, Kaylee. And that's what it taught me, is that at this time of the year, particularly when everything's mad and everyone's sort of celebrating whatever festival, it's okay to go, no, I don't want to go to that party. No, I don't want to do this. I need my time for reflection. I need my time to rest. I need my time to recuperate. If you want me to be a good person next year, I need this time to just slow down. And that was it was hard, but it was a really interesting process to go through. And one that I cherish and actually love now.
That's powerful.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I need to take a book page from your book there and try and do the relaxing bit.
It's really hard. It's really hard. I always try and set myself a Yule resolution. In fact, I do them at every Sabbath because I'm rubbish at New Year's resolutions, and that's how I see each Sabbath on the wheel.
Mm.
Is that it's my chance to make a small changes that benefit me. So I often do my New Year's resolution at Yule, so I've got a bit of a run, and I'm just trying to not be on my phone and just get off my phone and actually react to people and live with people and not live my life through my devices. That's my plan for next year.
I can't remember where I heard it, but somebody was talking about, like, instead of using the word like New Year's resolutions, maybe using the word intentions, because intention has a more positive feel to it. I'm gonna try that this year and see if
I think
you could do it. Well, absolutely. Do it. And people often say that the worst time of the year is this time of the year to actually set yourself a list of things that you need to change, because your body again is just slowing down and not wanting to make those changes. It's just in survival mode. Make the changes make your New Year's resolutions in May or March when the weather you feel better for doing it.
Yes.
So
I love this idea, Richie, of setting an intention around each of the Sabbaths. That's really powerful.
Yes.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah. And if you fall off the wagon, which quite often we do with New Year's resolutions, you can pick yourself up again the next time round. You know what I mean? It is a power, and they don't have to be big changes, and it can actually be things like have more fun, or I'm going to do this in the next 6 weeks, or I'm going to not do that. I'm going to sort this part out. I'm going to even, it could be the small things like I'm going to sort that cupboard out, and it's just giving yourself that window of opportunity that it's going to get that, but also don't beat yourself up if it doesn't happen.
Yes.
So while we were chatting, a bunch of people posted about what Yule means to them. So I'm going to read a couple of them. So Beth said here, Yule means recognizing the cycle of life, May to matron to crone, and that connection with the Holly King, who is reborn as the Oak King, natural cycle. And then Moira said, Yule makes me glad that the days will start getting longer. We have passed the darkest day of the year.
Yeah.
I agree. We're going only up from here, right?
But January is still really dark, isn't it? I like to think that. Yay, we're getting, and then you hit January and February, and it's like, ooh, okay.
Well, yeah. Well, and I said to some people recently, I have been really noticing this last month the impact of the sun being in the sky less and less and less. And boy, let me tell you, the last 2 weeks have been really nuts. I'm like going, okay, I know intellectually I'm on the other side of that. I need the sun to be up before I wake up and get out of bed.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because here in the UK, we've been just blanketed by grey skies for like 3 weeks.
Oh, God.
And yeah, it has been just grey skies. And this is quite common, but and then when was it? Yesterday, the sun came out, and I'm like, right, I'm off for a walk. It was like, I'm going out again. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not wasting this opportunity. Sure enough, I was out on the walk, and the wind started blowing in the grace. But you do need that sun. And again, it's about resetting your biorhythms or what's going on in your pineal glands or whatever in your head to help you kind of realign to where you are in the year. So important.
And Beth did add ancestors and family to her post there as well. Well, the issue here in Ottawa, at least, is that if we have clear skies, it's freaking freezing. So like yesterday, yesterday it was clear skies. It was blue, blue skies, sunny, everything. I walked out to go to a meeting at about 7 p.m. at night. I walked out my front door, and you inhale, and your body is like, I can't get enough oxygen because the air is that cold. It was like minus 16 Celsius, and that wasn't with the wind chill.
Oh,
don't know what that would be in Fahrenheit, but
yeah. You see, I'd quite like it. We've had a couple of days of coldish weather, but it's not gone below freezing here.
Yeah.
It's like the whole season has changed. I mean, forget having snow at Christmas. I can't remember the last time I saw snow, to be honest with you. And I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're so lucky," but
I'll take my computer and show you out the window.
oh, I'd love that. I would just once, just like to have a kind of snowy couple of days when it just doesn't turn to grey mush within a few hours and just be miserable.
So Amanda Carroll was agreeing with you there, Gerald. Introspection station.
Mm-hmm.
And then Marita said, I'm gonna probably mispronounce. I'm gonna leave that first word just because I don't want to mispronounce it there. Winterfest, when Saul's mother son returns from her rest.
Ah, nice.
And then Amanda Carroll again said, and I always see and envision reindeer associated with the word Yule.
I do too, yeah.
And isn't there a Yule goat or something like that too?
Yes, you get the Nordic, is it Thor? I can't remember. There's the Yule goat. Yeah.
And then V said Yule for me.
I've missed the Yule goat. So, but okay.
Have you missed your Yule? You can buy them. They're kind of nice.
I am. Thank you for offering that I can buy one, Richie. I'm trying to not have to buy anything else. I've shut him down.
Yeah, small ones, just one, just a little one to hang on.
I'll keep my eyes open for
Look out for Yule goat. Yeah.
There you go.
Beth says she has to.
Wait a minute. What did B put up there?
Yeah. So Yule for me is about going inwards at the hearth, whatever that means to you.
Yeah.
I personally love being around my people, chatting, playing board games, eating, and drinking. I would agree with that.
I would too.
and Beth said you had to run off to the post office. So, bye, Beth.
I don't know the Yule goat.
There was a video, I think, was it Instagram or Facebook, where a guy basically rescued one from like one of these like Salvation Army kind of like used, and he basically took it home. And like the whole video is him like doing different things with the Yule goat, and like the last image is him laying in bed with like one of the eye masks with the little eye mask on the goat.
I quite like the Yule goat. I need to find a Yule goat. I've always wanted one.
I know IKEA sells them, at least here. But,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you happen to see what Maru said at 24 After? People try to diet when their bodies want to increase fat reserves. And I'm like going, I had never thought of it like that. And she's right.
Mm-hmm.
You're wanting to just get cozy and keep going, try and get to the summer months when you have, fresh harvest and everything again.
But again, it's that whole fighting your DNA for this time of year, isn't it? It's like, well, I'm going to go on a diet come the 1st of January, and actually, no, your body's going, no, just stay still, eat, keep the reserves. You can burn it off. You're going to need it later on.
But I guess it because it is the turning of the year, and there's so much interest in the movement of the calendar instead of the movement of the seasons.
Absolutely.
I mean, we could always shift to the Chinese New Year, which I think is in February.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Moira said, in summer, I'm at the garden at 5:30 a.m. In winter, I'm lucky to be up by 8:30. I need the sun, even if it's super cold.
Yeah. Yeah. Blue sky. I need that.
Yeah.
Amanda, oh my gosh, goat love. I did not know.
And now I can make myself one with straw and red thread.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you all know I'm crafty.
Or willow. You could get some willow and make some.
Willow.
There you go.
Willow. A Yule willow goat.
That's interesting.
I love it.
So, as part of my initiation on Saturday there, we each had to contribute part of the ceremony. So each of us did something. So we had some people that were drumming, some people that did like singing bowls, prayer, stuff like that. And I ended up writing a Yule poem. So I basically went and looked up the different correspondences and tried to include as many of them as possible into the poem. So I thought I would read it for you guys if you want.
Beautiful, yes.
Yes, please.
I'm just gonna post Moira's first.
Screaming.
All I'm picturing is that Taylor Swift video or whatever it is. Thanks, Moira. That made me laugh. All right, so I will go ahead here. I have it on my phone.
This is cool.
I'm liking it.
Gather all on this night still young to bring forth the returning of the sun. For though this night is longest dark, we gathered here ignite the spark. Bring forth your gifts and bounty bright, for north, east, and south and west unite. A year has passed and knowledge gained, so all of you let each be named. With boughs of holly, yew, and pine, what's mine is yours and yours in kind. From winter's cold protection we seek, so to our guardians now we speak. Dionysus and Apollo aid our revelries, offerings to you of red and green. Goddess Fortuna, gold and silver gifted, the richness of the season spirits lifted. Under white blanket Gaia you sleep, your bounteous food we graciously keep. Rosemary and sage and apple we stew, chestnuts and juniper, to just name a few. With divine blessings, we now look ahead. Let the new be brought in and the old be shed. Take all in your hearts, be the sparks shine. Let us celebrate now at this Yule time.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I get chills every time I read it.
Oh, wow.
I am, Kaylee, if you would be willing to do a video of you just reading that could be something quite beautiful for people to find.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, I might even just do it and then upload it separately to YouTube. So maybe put a little bit of gentle music in the background or something like that. Yeah, make it a whole thing.
Great.
I will work on that. That'll be my over the Christmas plans that you guys will have.
Lovely. It reminds me of yesterday. I went to a ritual up on the Long Man of Wilmington, the chalk figure that the thing. And I don't know if you know Dave the Bard. He was there. He's a musician in the UK. He's quite famous for his music. And he'd written a round about Yule.
Oh, nice.
And part of it was we all had to sing all hail, as it went round. And the images that he used in it reminded me very much of what you've just said. So we brought it all back and it was wonderful. So thank you for that, because some really lovely images, and it was a very lovely time yesterday. And the sun did shine, which was nice.
Ooh, yay.
That's great.
So say it heard the call.
Yeah, it heard the call, and then it rained.
And then it rained.
Well, that was actually one of the things I wanted to talk about too, just because being on this path now, but between Yule and Christmas, that there seems to be a lot, or I seem to realize that there was a lot kind of in common. So like color correspondences, silver, gold, red, green, white.
Yeah.
Those are also Christmas colors. I mean, you hear about, like Yule logs and stuff like that as far as desserts. But yeah, what do you guys think of, like, different correspondences that are kind of maybe borrowed? I'll use that word.
Do you want to go first, Gerald, on this one?
I'll take that as Gerald, go first for me on that one.
I know it's a big question.
No, I'm prepared to go, but I could go for 10 minutes. If not.
We are the Tunkles, so
Yes.
This is how we get along. Yeah. I think there is a distinct commonality around the holiday, the celebrations happening at this time of the year. Mm-hmm. Most of them, and I did a conversation with Colleen the Cool Crone about Yule on Thursday. Most of them are based upon what the Egyptians did and the returning of the sun. So, and this idea of wealth. And when you layer another culture coming in and trying to get along with, there is that overlap. It's a fire festival.
True. Yeah.
So of course, there would be flames, and my thing about the correspondence is really is when you look around, all of the colors are present.
Mm-hmm.
They're just in a deeper and richer and darker tone. And the reds and the greens, the silver and the golds tend to be the ones that are the brightest and capture our attention in this landscape that is oftentimes just flat out barren because it's all gone to seed and relaxing and recuperating. So there you go. I think there's so much overlap, and I think it's beautiful because there's this need for it when we're getting into the cold.
Yeah, that connection.
Yes.
Yeah. It's very interesting because I've always loved this time of year and I really felt drawn to the ancestors and the traditions and everything. And this year I'm kind of veering off the path slightly, just because I don't want to sound mean when I say this in any way, shape or form. I've been very aware this year that there's been a lot of social media about all this and people kind of having lots of conversations about it. And just personally, how can I put this? You know how Samhain and Halloween all kind of got mashed together and everybody now has the perfect pumpkins and, they're on social media kind of flexing. Let's call it that one. I've got a nasty feeling that Yule's going that way as well. With, look at, all these perfect Christmases. And I'm just done a little bit of reading about it to say, let's try not to mash it all together because, we have to be a little bit careful because everybody takes their own bit from it. And yes, there are lots of synchronicities that are going on. But, it's like, the only reference to druids and mistletoe come from one Roman writer who, it would be the equivalent in 2,000 years to go, it's what happened in 2024. We only had Elon Musk's tweet, what could you say about it? So we have to be a little bit careful about those traditions. I don't want to ruin it for people, but I'm stepping back a little bit away from that because I think it's what brings what it is to you individual. And I think that's the important thing. It's not to be drawn into people on social media, and bear in mind we're all on social media, kind of putting all these ties together, mixing it all up into a pot when it might not go quite as well together as that. So that's my thoughts about this year, and I don't want to bring it down. But you're absolutely right. There's lovely links that goes on between them, but I'm not quite sure how the Nordic kind of thing it fits in with perhaps other countries. Do you know what I mean? It's all very. I think that's how I'm taking it this year. Is that I quite like holly and I quite like mistletoe, and I'm going to use it because it means something to me, and it's something that I can see in my countryside around me. Whereas perhaps a Yule goat or perhaps other things, it's not culturally appropriate for me to have that because it doesn't mean anything to me. So therefore, I'm going to use it carefully and cherish it.
No, I think that's perfect. And I think a big piece of it is, as you say, is that returning of the sun, because even here, like we have a lot of Aboriginal, especially in Ottawa specifically, we have a lot of Aboriginal communities, and they celebrate the solstice as well. That's still that returning of the sun. I think it's just almost like an innate human thing, is because we rely so much on the sun. That, it was that honoring, that hope that that sun was going to come back. And it did every year. So you just kept doing it. Because of course that one year you didn't do it, the sun wouldn't come back.
Absolutely. And that's the important thing, I think, to hang on to. It is about that marking of that point in the year where we tip forward into it. And we've already talked about the joy that it brings and the excitement it brings. And that's the important part of it, not necessarily all the rest of it that goes with it. It's all lovely. But then it all gets caught up with Christmas anyway, doesn't it? And everything else that's going on. So, bit of a hodgepodge.
So, we just had a really quick caution here. A Yule log on the fireplace is nice, but just don't throw the cake version.
Yes.
Eat it. Yeah.
Well, and I think we bring up a very important part of stuff going on for me in the world. And Richie, I know you are the rebel witch Richie. You're just going on your own path, which I fully applaud.
Yeah.
I think what's important is let's identify let's understand the different perspective so that we can appreciate what we do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important for me. I like to find out how we're all similar.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Oh,
don't want to
100%.
Yeah, I don't want to discount anyone's experience because I want your experience to add value. It adds value to you. It can also add value to me.
Yes.
And those are not mutually exclusive.
I love it.
And Maruda said here that the red and the green came from the Sami shamans hanging amanitas or amanitas to dry on a fir tree.
Yeah,
I love that. And
Yeah.
by the way, the Jadair owl is Jeffrey, my husband.
Hi, Jeffrey.
Yeah. He says howdy.
Yes. The sun goddess creates life on Earth. Isn't that an interesting thing? Because this may be controversial, but aren't a lot of the sun deity male?
I know Ra is, at least with the Egyptian.
Yeah.
And I'm like going, it makes sense that the sun goddess creates it. Come for me, YouTube. My name is Tarot Stash. Leave Kaylee out of this. But I think, because I did see somebody was talking about it. They actually picture, they were talking about that the sun is much more feminine because when we were hunter and gatherers, the women were built for stamina and going out and gathering, where the males just have that sudden bursts of energy. By the way, for entertainment purposes only, I've not researched this at all. It was something that I overheard and I went, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Would it have been a case of the moon was seen as female, so they automatically had to have a counterbalance with the male, and so that's how the sun?
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, all the Greek and Roman myths, it's male sun gods. Mithras, wasn't it, was the Roman god that was basically, his birthday was the 25th of December. He was born on the 25th of December, some nice links there going on, I think. So, but yeah, I've always, it's rare that you come across a sun goddess, but I absolutely love it. I absolutely think that's wonderful.
Well, it's funny, Gerald, you said, a quick burst of energy there, and all I'm thinking is about all these solar flares that come off the sun.
Yeah. Moira said moon is not always male.
Always female, I think she meant to
say. And it's an interesting thing. I think perhaps the biological association with the phases of the moon and the natural cycles could be a direct connection.
Yes, yeah,
but
very
it
true.
is certainly not limited.
No.
That's an interesting thing. I'm going to write that down because
that might be a good question.
Solar goddesses.
Solar goddesses.
Yeah, because I know there's, is it Suna or Suna, depending on how you pronounce it, is a female sun goddess.
I don't know.
She's, I think, I want to say Norse. Only reason I know is because I was doing some like fan fiction-y kind of writing, and one of my characters mythologically was the daughter of Suna.
Just trying to think now. I can't think of any.
Yeah.
Have to do our research.
Yeah, everybody get on that. Go.
There you go. But yeah. So
sun is sometimes female and
Oh, there you go. Moira says, I see sun as male and moon female, but have seen the opposite too.
Yeah.
Oh, here. B said, I never attribute a sex to the sun. Moon is definitely female for me, but sun is whole and one. That's an interesting way to look at it too. Moira said, yes, our moon is male. Men go out at night, women in the day. That's another way to
That
look
makes
at it.
sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because of the hunting.
Because Gerald, in the tarot, I think the moon card tends to be, does it tend to be, no, that's the star card that has the woman on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think the moon card tends to have, what is it, the wolves?
The dog and the wolves and the tower, and the sun
crescent.
card's got the baby, hasn't it?
Yes, and the moon card also has the crustacean.
The lobster.
I say lobster, scorpion, something, something with claws.
Yeah, them. Yeah.
Is it the original Santa Claus?
It's the only card in the tarot that ever makes me feel hungry. It's like I go, I really want some shellfish now when I see that one.
There, Moira says, moon in tarot is feminine, Pisces, water, etc.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So interesting.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, since you guys are both into the tarot, would there be like a tarot card that you would, I don't know, I guess, that would bring Yule to your mind? Like that you would maybe...
Yes. It's easy to. I would say the Hermit. Because it's about, I mean, even the card, the Pamela Coleman Smith design, it's on an icy mountain, it's a grey sky, practically where I live, basically. What's going on. But it's about finding your space, and it's about, for me, the Hermit is about taking time out. It's like a toss-up between the Hierophant and the Hanged Man in many ways. The Hermit for me is about isolation, to do self-care, to learn, to teach, but basically to cut yourself off, to give yourself some time and space alone to think. And I think that is really important this time of year, particularly in the craziness of this Christmas season.
Gerald?
Ask the question again to make sure, that I have it properly. What
tarot card can be major, minor, would basically brings Yule to mind for you, or would be one card you'd say, yeah, that's what Yule is? Or
I agree with Richie and the Hermit. What popped into my head is the 10 of Pentacles.
That's popped into mine
as well. Yeah.
Because it's the idea of the multi-generational gathering, the elders caring for the younger, the telling of stories. So that's part of how I could see it as well.
And and sitting in that abundance that you've worked all year for.
Yes.
I have a flip side to that. Is that actually everyone looks a bit cooped up in the same room and about to fall out with one another.
There is that. The other thought that I had is the 5 of Pentacles. Because it's in this isolation, this desolation, this cold, where people are not reaching out to others, and they in that visually, all you do is have to turn the corner and you can get inside this place with the stained glass.
Yeah.
So there's this, I would say an unhealthy version of it would be the 5 of Pentacles, because you are put out, you are all alone. There is no one around you to help you, and you are meant to suffer.
I want to say it almost gives you the Scrooge vibes, or the Christmas Carol kind of vibe.
It does, but it also gives that vibe of people around Christmas are more willing to give. This is when a lot of the charities, this is the month that they make their the year,
right?
Because of donations.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So some people posted some. So Jeffrey there said, if you think about it, the female or goddess energy is the constant energy.
Love it.
And then Moira said men also spent the night outdoors to guard their livestock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then Moira, we were talking about the cards there. She said the star. After the darkness, there is hope.
Love it.
And then Hypnicity just popped on. She says, hi, late.
Hi.
I'd say the magician. And I actually like Maruda's too. Judgment, Resurrection of the Light. That's an interesting take too.
Could fit them all in. I think could be thinking about it. Could be the fall, isn't it? Starting all off again.
Oh, there's another one.
Death Guard. Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
I see that'd be very Scrooge. You got your 3 ghosts.
4.
I just found this. I just found my hermit card from this. This is the Slavic legends. Look at that.
Love that. Here, I'm going to make you a little bit bigger. Give me a second here.
Okay.
And there you go.
I know it's quite green and lush, but that's got real.
That. Well, you talk about the Oak King, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I just love his beard's all made of roots and stuff like that. So it's about being in that forest. I mean, there's some just beautiful cards in there. I mean, they actually have the 6 of coins here is quite Yule-ish.
Oh, that is.
Again, it's about sort of charity, isn't it? Like you were talking about with the 5. Yeah, so I was flicking through this and going, ooh, talking about what we were doing with Slavic legends and stuff.
Purchase responsibly, Moira.
Is this the Slavic legends? Is this the one that you?
Yeah, this is the one that I bought. I've wanted for years, and I found it on eBay. It wasn't cheap, but it's pretty pristine. It's my Yule present. It reads beautifully this time of year, and it's really gentle deck. It's lovely energy to it. It's just. I did myself a solstice reading yesterday, and it was really useful, and I probably got the most out of a reading I've done all year from.
Oh, nice! I love that when that happens with the deck.
Yeah. So yes. Yeah.
And if anybody ever wants a reading, both these gentlemen do readings, and I've had readings from both of them, so I can vouch.
You have.
We both give amazing readings.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, happy to do readings. We can fit you in.
Yeah, it would be great to. Yeah, it would be great, especially this time of the year. It's good for a. Let's finish up. Let's look forward to.
Yeah. Let's see what the new year is bringing.
Which is exactly what this time of the year is about.
Yes,
because we're still eating, because we still have some of the fresh stuff available to eat. And we're not down to our last potato or anything. So
I say no rock soup.
No.
Rock soup could work.
Eating the Yule goat, if not, wouldn't you?
Yeah, there you go.
I just have to look up this Yule goat. This is a fascinating thing for me.
I can't believe you're not seeing the Yule goat.
Well, and the other thing that pops in my head when you talk about Yule is mummers. I don't know how big of a thing it is in the UK, but like I know in Newfoundland here in Canada, like it's a huge thing. Mumming.
You just happen to be talking to the right person on that one. Well, do you know I started Morris dancing?
Ooh.
And a lot of the Morris dancing groups also do mummers and mumming and do that part of it. Or not quite so big, but another local group does it. And it appears that everybody on Facebook that I've been following dancing groups have got a horse's skull now and do the Mary Lloyd walking around.
Okay, yeah.
Now, so it just seems that Mary Lloyd and all of that is really taking off. So I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. It just seems they're saying that it's a bit of an explosion going on with people doing the traditional dancing and festivities and mumming as well. I used to do a bit of mumming plays and stuff like that. I haven't done it for years, but there's such good fun and just guising and going around door to door and stuff like that.
Well, like I know for me, my kind of context for mumming comes from the Mummer's Waltz by Laura McKinnett. Which
Yes.
is like I just listen to that song and it's like I'm transported. If you want like songs with like witchy vibes,
Yeah.
Lorena McKinnett's your go-to.
Oh, she's a constant play on my.
Oh, come on. Yeah. If you listen to Lorena McKennett, she's basically casting a circle.
Yeah.
And then doing a whole bunch of stuff and then releasing the energy that y'all built up. And a friend of mine actually went and saw her in concert. And it was just like, cool. It was like, wait a minute, this is actually happening. And you know, it's like, oh, okay.
Oh, B was reminding everybody to like, subscribe, leave a comment after the video if you don't mind. That just helps the algorithm. Oh, and Maruda said there Latvians do solstice mumming as well. There you go.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Maru wants to know if she can post a video.
Like a link in the comments? Yeah, go for it.
There you go. Yes. So, did you ever do mumming yourself then, Kaylee?
Nope, not yet. I haven't had the opportunity. I would probably do it if I had the opportunity, but I'll have to come visit.
We have a thing in the UK called wassailing, which is quite popular. And again, that seems to be taken off. A lot of pubs do it now because they realise that people don't like going to pubs in January. So they put on quite often wassail events, which is just wonderful to have a few drinks, do some dancing, a lot of very loud, wonderful singing of traditional stuff, and go and wake up those spirits of the apple trees ready for a lovely cider harvest. So absolutely love it. It gives me gets me through January doing things like that.
You say wassailing, and I'll like a picture. So I don't know if you've ever seen any of the claymation movies or claymation. So there's one that we have on DVD that they did a bunch of Christmas stuff. And there's one segment of that where they're talking about wassailing, but it's because they could misinterpreted what the word was. So like it was like waffling. So it's just like waffles and maple syrup. So like here we come on waffling. I'm like, I'd be up for waffles.
Well, B in chat here. I'm going to give B a shout out. I'm doing that, but I'm just looking. B here is part of my Morris dancing.
There you go.
Oh, B is the person that my first day was really nice to me and taught me my first dance. And so I'm very excited to be doing our first proper dance at a wassail in January, and there will be lots of photos, I'm sure. So look out for a picture of me and B dressed in our best, giving it our wassail.
I think Jeffrey said that there's several mummer bands organizations in Philadelphia.
Wonderful.
And,
Philadelphia area.
Well, am I allowed to tell them, Jeffrey, what we did on Yule? Yeah. Jeffrey created a wassail. How can you please welcome Jeffrey's voice? Tell him. Can you tell people what you did?
I wrote a spell for the wassail punch. So all of the members of our coven have an ingredient that they add to the wassail brew, and I wrote a spell for each of them, signifying what each ingredient means and all that good stuff. And I'm quite proud of it. It's really good.
Sounds fabulous.
It's really great.
And Maruda posted a link to the song there as well, which I wanted to share with everybody. So check that out.
Thank you.
And thank you for everybody for coming. We're just coming up on the hour. I know everybody has lots of things to do, and I know Richie, it's getting late for you there. But thank you for everybody for coming and hanging out. So I kind of said it at the beginning, but I'll repeat again for you that came in. So the next video, the next live will be on the 13th of January, and it'll actually be my business launch for my Reiki business. So I hope you guys can make it to that. There's going to be a little bit of a healing at the end of the live. So I would love for you all to be there and share in that. And then the one following that will be then on the 23rd, which is another cooking live where you can come hang with me in the kitchen because you guys enjoyed that so much. So I decided to do another one.
Beautiful.
Do you
Beautiful.
gents have anything coming up in the next week or so? We're just going to take time off for Christmas.
Taking time off for Christmas. However, we do have a collaboration coming up soon, don't we, Gerald?
Yes.
We're doing a decaffeinated, no, full-on caffeinated.
What the
aren't we?
hell are you talking about? It's a full-on caffeinated.
Full-on double shot.
Ooh, double shot. Oh, dear.
Thursday, January 2nd at 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. GMT. Richie and Deb, Purple Elephant, Deb H.
That'll be good.
And I are going to be doing caffeinated and unfiltered, and I am using the Best Chatters Oracle deck. And that started in a live that Richie and Deb were with, and Jamie popped into us. So I've still got 100 of them to write down. So they're gonna have to live in their own sleeve or something. It's going to be incredible.
Love it. I'll put that in my calendar.
Do.
Yes.
Race kickoff 2025.
I agree. I'm also teaching a quantum manifestation class with Val from Dragonfly Crystals on Saturday the 28th, and that is at 5 p.m. Eastern. I will be putting information links on my community tab. So
everybody subscribe.
Doing that. So yes.
So yeah, everybody have a Merry Christmas, Happy Yule, Happy Solstice, all that jazz. And until next time, see ya. Bye.
Bye.